He, who had always admired her keen eye for art and her impeccable taste, couldn't help but feel a flutter of excitement in his chest as he asked her to accompany him to the exhibition of contemporary artists that was being held at the prestigious art museum in the city, knowing full well that she would be the perfect companion to share in the experience of viewing and discussing the various works on display. And as they walked arm in arm through the galleries, taking in the stunning pieces created by some of the most talented artists of the current generation, he couldn't help but feel a deep sense of gratitude for her presence by his side, for her intelligence, her wit, and her ability to bring out the best in him. As they wandered through the galleries, taking in the various works on display, she couldn't help but be struck by the way he seemed to truly see and appreciate the art, pointing out subtle details and nuances that she had never noticed before. And as they engaged in lively and stimulating conversations about the meaning and intent behind the pieces, she couldn't help but feel a sense of connection and understanding with him that she had never felt with anyone else. They spent hours wandering through the galleries, discussing their favorite pieces, and sharing their thoughts and opinions on the various artists and their works. And it was in that moment that he realized that there was no one else he would rather spend his time with than her. For she was not only a dear friend, but also a true companion in the appreciation of the beauty of art. As they strolled through the galleries, taking in the various works of art on display and engaging in thoughtful conversations about their interpretations and meanings, she couldn't help but feel her heart swell with a range of emotions that she couldn't quite explain. They had always been good friends, and she had always valued his company and his intellect. But as they stood in front of a particularly striking piece, and he turned to her with a look of genuine wonder and excitement in his eyes, it suddenly dawned on her that she had fallen deeply in love with him. The realization hit her like a bolt of lightning, and she couldn't shake off the feeling as they continued to explore the exhibition, her mind reeling with the knowledge that she had feelings for him that went beyond mere friendship. As they walked through the galleries, they came across a painting of a romantic scene of a couple locked in a passionate embrace. And as they stood there in front of it, she couldn't help but feel her heart ache with longing, as the image of the lovers seemed to mirror the feelings she had been struggling to suppress for him. And before she could fully process what she was doing, she leaned in and pressed her lips to his, caught up in the moment and the emotion of the painting. And as he responded with equal fervor, she knew that this was the beginning of something beautiful. As they stood in the museum surrounded by the romantic paintings, they couldn't help but feel a sense of heightened emotion, as the art seemed to mirror the feelings that they had been struggling to express for each other. Each brushstroke, each stroke of color, seemed to speak to the depth of their longing and their love. And they couldn't help but feel their hearts swell with a sense of overwhelming joy and contentment as they stood there together, taking in the beauty of the art and the beauty of their newfound love. The museum's ambience, filled with the soft light and the quiet whispers of other visitors, added to the romantic atmosphere. They felt as if they were in their own world, and the paintings were just a reflection of the feelings they shared. After they shared that passionate kiss in front of the romantic painting, they both couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and anticipation for what was to come next. As they walked arm in arm through the galleries, taking in the remaining artworks, they both knew that this was just the beginning of their love story. As they left the museum, he nervously but excitedly suggested that they should go out to dinner next weekend. He carefully picked one of the best restaurants in the city, known for its romantic ambience, delicious food, and impeccable service. He made the reservations, and even went the extra mile to request a table with a view, to make the evening extra special. He wanted to make sure that the evening would be perfect, a night to remember for the both of them. He wanted to make this evening special, to show her how much he cared for her, and to let her know that he was serious about their relationship. She was thrilled with the idea, and couldn't wait for the weekend to arrive, to see where this new chapter in their relationship would take them. As the day of their first date approached, they both couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and nerves. They spent the days leading up to their date, carefully picking out the perfect outfits, making sure that they looked their best for each other. She spent hours trying on different dresses, and selecting the perfect accessories to complement her outfit. They both felt like children, filled with joy and anticipation, counting down the days until their date. They talked on the phone, sending messages, and planning their evening, discussing what they would talk about, what they would order. and how they would spend their time together. They both knew that this was a big step in their relationship, and they wanted to make sure that everything was perfect. As they arrived at the restaurant, they were greeted with the warm ambience and the delicious aroma of the food. They sat at their reserved table with a beautiful view. The restaurant was one of the most well-known and highly rated in the city, known for its fine dining and romantic atmosphere. It was located in a beautiful historic building with tall windows that offered a stunning view of the city. The interior was elegantly decorated with plush velvet seating, dim lighting, and tasteful artwork adorning the walls. The tables were dressed with crisp white linens and sparkling silverware, setting the stage for an intimate and sophisticated evening. The menu was an eclectic blend of contemporary and classic dishes, featuring an array of flavors and ingredients that were expertly prepared by the restaurant's renowned chef. They had a wide selection of wine, carefully curated to complement the flavors of the dishes. The service was impeccable, as the waitstaff was attentive and knowledgeable, making sure that their dining experience was nothing short of perfect. They were happy to offer recommendations and suggestions, and made sure that their every need was taken care of. The ambience was perfect for a romantic evening. The lighting was dim and intimate. The music was soft and the atmosphere was quiet. The restaurant had a cozy and warm feeling, and it felt like a perfect setting for them to have their first date. They both felt like they were in a fairy tale, and they couldn't stop smiling and laughing, feeling like they were the only two people in the room. As they sat at their table, taking in the stunning view and the elegant atmosphere of the restaurant, they both couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder. This evening was like a dream come true for them, and they couldn't help but feel incredibly grateful for the opportunity to be here together, experiencing this magical moment. They were both in a state of pure bliss, and couldn't stop smiling and laughing, feeling like nothing could bring them down from the high of this perfect evening. They knew that this was a night they would both remember for the rest of their lives. To be continued.